Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is B-Diz, the Rockstar, part of Super Obvious. And in this video, we're going to talk to you about Dean Ambrose and how it's confirmed 100% for sure he is turning heel on Monday Night Raw. No, I'm just kidding. He's not. Now, I think a good place to start is about 4 years ago when Seth Rollins turned his back on the Shield to join the Authority.
Oh my God!
After that, we get to a point where Roman Reigns is gone. He was injured, and he's gone for a couple of months. I believe it's because of the feud that he had with Braun Strowman. So when Seth and Dean Ambrose are like on the same brand or whatever, Seth Rollins keeps on trying to reach out to Dean Ambrose, and week after week, Seth keeps trying to put his fist out, like, for the Shield fist bump, and Dean Ambrose doesn't do it. It gets to a point where there is a video that you guys should check out on YouTube when Seth officially apologizes to Dean Ambrose. And he's like, hey man, I know you don't trust me. And he just turns his back and he's like, hey man, if you really feel like that, go ahead and hit me. And he throws the microphone away, he turns his back, lifts his arms like, yo, if you want to hit me with a chair, go ahead. Dean Ambrose eventually keeps hinting at it, but he throws a chair out of the ring. He doesn't hit him. You hear a little bit of cheers, but then you also hear a whole bunch of boos, like the fans are mad that Dean Ambrose didn't hit Seth Rollins when he turned his back on him. After that, there's a couple weeks later when Seth and Dean Ambrose are in the ring again, cutting another promo about, getting back together and everything that's going on. They end up having a big ass blowout. They fight each other for a long ass time. The Bar comes out, Sheamus and Cesaro, they come out, and then there's a long ass fight scene between the four of them. Eventually, Seth and Dean Ambrose come out on top, and they do the trademark fist bump. The crowd pops super big. It's the payoff that we've been wanting and been waiting for weeks and weeks and weeks, forever. And when Roman Reigns comes back, the three members of the Shield reunite. They're officially back together. Something that's really interesting is that there was rumors that Dean Ambrose was already going to turn heel before he got injured. Seth Rollins is actually the one who injured Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins did his trademark suicide dive through the ropes that he does several times a match. He did it into a whole bunch of wrestlers, which one of them was Dean. And when they caught Seth Rollins, Dean got hit and kind of took a nasty fall. So what's going on now? The main thing that they're doing now, it happened on Raw, was Dolph comes out and Drew McIntyre comes out and Braun Strowman comes out, and they're like, the Shield needs you, you don't need the Shield. Roman Reigns has a title, Seth Rollins has a title. You're the only one that's in the Shield that doesn't have a title. Since he came back, he seemed different. He got a little bigger, he cut his hair. The dude almost seems like he keeps so much anger and frustration inside of him, like the dude could blow up at any minute. And I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but when the Shield were getting beat up for like those 2 weeks in a row or whatever, he was the one that brought that bag with the axe handles in them. That probably has nothing to do with it, but I just want you guys to know that I know, and I notice stuff. So when Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler are talking to the Shield, they're like, hey Dean, how about you ditch them and join us along with Braun Strowman? And you can kind of feel it in the air that it's like, oh shit, this is possible, it could happen. Like, out of the Shield, Dean Ambrose is kind of like the least biggest one out of all three of them. And the cool thing about Dean possibly turning heel is it could really, really help him. Like, think about Becky Lynch turning heel. Before she did it, she was like lost in the shuffle on SmackDown. Once she turned heel and once she started beefing with Charlotte and she got the belt, she's like the best thing on SmackDown. Like, this is like the peak of her career. The same thing could happen for Dean Ambrose. Eventually, he can go after Seth Rollins for his title, or even bigger, after Roman Reigns for his title. It can happen, man. There is a part where Drew and Dean are backstage cutting a promo. Drew is talking to Dean and he's like, hey man, you remember what Seth already did? He turned his back on you guys. You can hear the whole arena. They're like, oh. Now I'm going to go to the 6-man tag match, which is the main event of the evening. It is Baron Corbin and the Authors of Pain against the Shield. Now, there is a part kind of towards the climax of the match where Dean Ambrose is outside and he's kind of like looking at the entrance ramp because Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Dolph Ziggler are like sitting in chairs just like kind of just like there. And then Dean Ambrose looks into the ring where the Shield is, and there's that moment, a couple of moments where it's like, holy shit, Dean Ambrose is gonna turn right now. But he doesn't, and he goes back into the ring, he helps his boys, they win the match, and that's how the show ends. Now, what we're going to do is talk about the predictions and the spoilers, which means that if I say something now, and if it comes true down the road, and I kind of ruined your wrestling experience a little bit, I did my job, guys. What do you think about that? So what I think is going to happen is at the Superstar Showdown with the 6-man tag, the Shield is going to have a miscommunication and they're going to lose against Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Dolph Ziggler. Now, if that happens, you're going to expect that Dean Ambrose will turn right then and there. He's not going to. And then we're going to have Raw, which this will probably be the focus of Raw, is you think that Dean is going to turn on Raw, and he's not. What I think could happen is when Dean eventually does turn, it may not be until Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. This could be the biggest feud that they have, like if Dean turns and if he wants to go against Seth, if Seth has the IC belt and wants to, you know, challenge him, especially in a dirty way, challenge him for the title, or step to Roman Reigns and try to get the Universal Championship. Maybe it'll be all three of them against each other for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. Yeah, so what I think they need to do is they need to keep building this for a while, like not just a couple weeks, but like a couple months. Like make the whole thing with the Shield not knowing what's going to happen. They need to keep building that. If they make him turn now and it's almost like a done deal, they are losing money. Also, part of the reason why Dean turning heel right now is not a good idea is because we already expect it. They've already threw it out there, especially on Monday Night Raw. Like that was the focus of Raw. If Dean Ambrose turns heel now, we'll already see it coming. It won't have the same effect. Think about when Big Cass turned on Enzo. That really hit you. You didn't see it coming. When Becky turned on Charlotte, kind of saw it coming, but you didn't think it would happen right then and there. Or what about DIY? When Tommaso Ciampa turned on Johnny Gargano, that shit was heartbreaking. You seen grown adults in like the stands, in the crowd, crying like little bitches. I might have got something in my eye when that happened. I don't know, man. I just got these contacts and shit. The whole Dean Ambrose, the thing that he could turn heel any moment is really, really good. We just don't know when it's going to happen. I think they're going to keep building. It's going to be around Royal Rumble or WrestleMania because that shit will be here before you know it. Ever since Dean Ambrose came back and the way his demeanor is, I think it's really, really cool. And he's like that wild card. We don't know what he's going to do at any time, especially when he's pushed. But yeah, man, this is Beat is the Rockstar, part of Super Obvious. This is my video on Dean Ambrose turning heel or not, or when not. I don't know. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. Please like and comment on the video. I will see you guys in the next one.